Welcome to another episode of MondayFundayPodcast. I'm your host, Ahmed and Kazeem, and if you could speak Arabic, Ahmed and Kazeem. It's me, podcaster, comedian, content creator, traveler, anything I do to make whatever I could do to not be an accountant anymore. Guys, we have a great guest for you today, but before I begin, I just want to give a huge shout out to our new Patreon subscribers. We have Sam, I think I shot him out last time, and we have Hazel Mars, but I know her real name is Marwa, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say Marwa and Sam, thank y'all so much for becoming Patreon subscribers. Guys, subscribe to the Patreon. You're seeing more exclusive content. You're getting more BTS scenes. You're getting certain other segments of the podcast on Patreon. And by the time this releases, I'm gonna be in Europe, just being my like shaking my sweet little ass over there. So I'm gonna be. I'm
trying so hard not to interrupt you.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna be posting exclusive content on the Patreon of me doing stuff in Europe. And once we hit a certain amount of Patreon subscribers, I'm gonna start going live for patrons only. Yeah. And that's when I get real deep and I get real vulnerable with you guys. And now, without further ado, guys, we have a returning guest. Yes. He is one of the funniest comedians I know. For the Breadheads of Breadcrumbs who came to my Irvine show last year, he was the guy. He was the funny comic right before me, and I actually have a funny story about that.
And we're doing Irvine again.
We're doing Irvine, and yes, he's gonna be featuring for me again with Harper Rose in December 11th at Irvine Comedy Club. You guys gotta come check him out. Everyone, please put your hands together for Kazeem Rahman or Rahman.
It's fine. Ahmed's gonna be in Europe, shaking his ass in Paris and Brisbane.
No, we're not going to Lisbon.
You're not going to Lisbon?
Even though we're having a lot of requests to go to Lisbon, we're not.
Okay, where are you going? What cities are you gonna be at?
Dublin, Glasgow, Manchester, London, Paris, Frankfurt, Berlin, Copenhagen, Oslo, and then Amsterdam.
Such a good, and that's the one, I don't know how to say this without sounding mean. I know you have a lot of European fans. The only good thing about Europe is that you can technically see all those cities in one day. Mm-hmm. That's the end, and you don't necessarily need a special visa for this or that if you're European. Yeah. Right? If you live in Paris, you can go to Germany if you want. Yeah. Just for the day. You don't need a passport. A passport, of course, but you don't need a visa. Right. Because that's just that European Union. Do I need a visa with
an American passport? I think I'm all set. I know I just need to get a visa when I go to Istanbul.
I know there's visa. I mean, you have to look that up. I think there's visa-less. I know the American passport, there are countries that you don't have to go to.
Yeah, we have a pretty decent list.
Yeah, we have a decent list.
It's pretty long. Yeah. But yeah, I think the only thing I have, the only city or / country is when I go to Istanbul, I'm gonna just go online, apply for get the visa for like $75.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, before we went to Barbados, we had to get, we didn't have to get a visa, but we did have to like tell them we were here. Like we have to go online and be like, this is who I am. This is my passport number, blah, blah, blah. Right, and then they were like, all right, cool. You're good. Come on down. Right. We need you. Tourism.
Yeah. And no, I'm just like really excited. And it's like, if you see the tour dates, we're like show, leave,
I see it.
Show, leave,
I see it.
show,
yeah,
leave.
You're doing a lot. You're doing, you know what? It's an old school thing called a Tribble Run, where like you land somewhere in like Idaho, and then you do a one-nighter, and then you have to drive to Kansas, and then you have to drive to this, and then
that's what I'm doing in America.
Yeah.
After my Europe tour, I'm chilling here for a little bit, and then I fly to St. Louis, and then I drive. I don't know if we locked in Kansas City yet, but I drive to Des Moines. I stay with my friends, also a Patreon member, Andy, and then Minneapolis, and then I go to Chicago. And then shout out to Ann, who I'm staying with there. And then Indianapolis. I found in a couple Nashville we just added. But you know David Jackson?
I know his name, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I know that guy.
Yeah.
You know the sad part, I was going to say, oh, yeah, the black guy. I shouldn't have said that in my head, but I already said it in my head, so I'll just say it out loud. I know David Jackson.
He is an African American.
Yeah. He's a video. He recorded my show.
Yeah, he recorded the show at Irvine. Yeah, and he's from St. Louis. He said he could get us a car, so we're gonna meet in St. Louis and we're gonna drive together.
There we go.
Yeah, so it's gonna be fun. And I'm doing the same thing. In New York / Canada tour, it will be Laura Lehem and Yash Malik.
Yeah.
And then for my mountain region,
shout out to them. I love them.
Yeah. For my mountain region, it would be me. I'm driving, but Harper Rose will be with me.
Okay.
For all the other cities.
Dope.
So it'll be nice.
And that's a thing that a lot of normal people don't get. Respectfully, I call you normal because you don't do comedy.
Civilians, yeah.
A lot of times, especially at this level in our career, a lot of it is, I'm doing all these shows, but then the back end, it's like, all right, well, I need to rent a car. Who am I going to stay with? How much are these flights? All right. I'm not flying from Chicago to Detroit. I'm renting a car.
Yeah.
Right. There's no way I'm going to pay $400 when I can just pay the $75.
And you get miles if you use a Delta card and you use Hertz, you get extra points out of that.
And then you have to learn all the tricks of the trade.
Yeah.
Right? Because like you said, I use one credit card specifically for the points. I have a Chase business card specifically for the points. And I pay everything on that card and I just stack points.
Okay, so I have 3. I have my Delta, the purple Delta card.
Okay.
It's like Delta Sky Miles reward. I got that one because you get 3x points for every flight you book, and you also get entrance to the Delta Sky Lounge, which saves me a lot of money. I pay, but the annual fee for that purple card is $550 a month. For me, I fly a lot, so it's worth it.
It's worth it,
especially when you go to the airport early. And you just go there and eat the food at the Sky Lounge, and then they always have apples. Yeah, wrapped around, and I put the apples in my backpack.
Do you have global entry?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
I just got it.
I just got it.
Well, see, so
wait, did you have TSA pre-check before?
No, I just had Clear.
Oh,
I had Clear for a long time.
Get away from Clear. Here's why I don't. I like Clear. I like Clear, respectfully, just in case Clear wants to sponsor you.
Yeah.
The problem I have with Clear is that, one, Clear is not at every airport.
Yeah,
right?
It's not.
It's at every major airport. Cool. Not us. We need to be at every airport.
Yeah. There's some places where.
But your global entry includes TSA pre-check.
Yes.
So you're good.
The reason why I didn't get TSA pre-check, because when I got Clear, it was great, scanning eyes, and I was able to go through. And I was early in Clear. And then I was going to get, what was I going to say? I applied for global entry, but it took a long time.
Global entry takes forever.
It took a long time. So
I don't have it.
Yeah. So I was like, I might as well just get global entry rather than just get both. So I applied for global entry. It took some time. And then in between, while I was in the waiting period, Clear was, they became a monster in its own. Because they're outside, getting so many people for Clear. Now, sometimes the line for Clear would be longer than just a regular line or whatever. Yeah. But now you have, because I fly Delta, there's the Sky Miles line, Clear line. And for some major airports, DFW has this. There's certain lines that it's only for people who have both Clear and TSA pre-check.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So TSA pre-check has become too much. Clear is becoming too much. So now they're creating, if you have both, you have a line for yourself.
Interesting. Yeah. I think TSA pre-check is great. I think that they just need to hire more people at the airport, honestly, and then there wouldn't be a need for TSA pre-check technically, because the lines would move faster.
Yeah, I have a lot of travel pet peeves. I could go on. Okay, let's just talk about it before we get into the advice thing, but the breadhead to breadcrumbs will understand. Nothing bothers me more where it's I'm flying. I know how to pack efficiently. I know how to go through the lines. Nothing bothers me when the people in front of me, or a group of people in front of me, are non-experienced flyers. And they're just well, golly, wow, what's going on? Oh, do I take my shoes off? And you're they just take forever. And one time I was in line in Des Moines.
Okay.
There was this two older people.
Shout out to Iowa.
They were,
I'm sorry.
no, you're good. It was these two older people. I was extremely frustrated. Like, they took forever on moving the line. They weren't sure if they're on the right line. They were on the right line, and they kept like, I don't know. I don't know specifically.
Ahmed,
all I remember it was 4:30 a.m. and it was just pure rage.
Yeah.
That's it.
Give them grace. I think
if it was 7 a.m., maybe 6 a.m., I'd be like, yeah, inshallah, we'll all get there.
Yeah, I promise
we'll all
you.
get there. But I was that thing stresses me on when I'm like, most of the time when I'm at the airport, I'm running on no sleep.
Yeah, I think in that situation, it was you. I don't think it was them. Honestly. I think because you just said what they did and it was literally nothing.
No. They were doing something I can't remember.
No, hold on. This is what you said. Man, I was at the airport. It was 4:30. These two old people, they were just like, and then I was like, it's 4:30, and it was just like this.
You are right.
Slept,
listen,
and they were just so old.
I admit I didn't explain the story correctly. But all I remember was I was very angry in Des Moines, Iowa airport.
Oh, yeah, I get angry. But also, it's because when you're a comic and you have goals,
okay, go.
you have to be proficient. You have with your time and with your effort, right? Yeah. So, yeah, admittedly, when we go somewhere, we know how long we're supposed to be there. Yes. We know how long it's going to take. I have everything that I need in my backpack already. So when I get to an airport and I see some dude and you don't even know you're supposed to take your shoes off, yeah, I'm gonna get a little pissed. Yeah. I'm not gonna get into a rage like Ahmed here, but I will get a little like, what do you do with your life? No, like this. You're not cultured?
Yeah, I agree.
You've never been to Kansas City? Kansas City? Both Kansas cities?
Okay, one more question and then we'll get to the advice. What was the question? I was gonna say, have you missed a flight? But no, have you ever
Yes,
I've missed a flight. But have you ever been like you had like a legit like anger moment where like it's like, if this escalates any level higher, someone's gonna whip out their phone and record you? Because that happened to me
in general.
Yeah, in general. Like, I'll tell you my story and see if something similar. So I'm at DFW airport. Mm-hmm. None of the kiosk for checking in your bags, or just tagging your bags, was just not working.
Oh.
But apparently, some were was working, not working, whatever. So this happens a lot.
Hold on.
As adults,
I'm going to interrupt you. What time was this?
It was in the afternoon.
Afternoon?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
okay. You're well rested.
Morning?
You're well
I had
rested.
some sleep. Good question. And then this happens though. If the kiosk are not working, sometimes I will just go through Sky Miles member line or the what was it? The priority, whatever. I'll go through the line and they'll just tag it for me. Mm-hmm. I've done it multiple times at multiple airports, right? It wasn't working, and I'm waiting in line, and the lady's like, you have to tag it at the kiosk. I was like, they're not working. And she's like, well, you have to tag it at the kiosk. I was like, they're not working. And I start yelling. I'm like, how am I supposed to tag it if they're not working? I'm in this line. You have this, I was like, you know that it's, and some of them are not working. And then I pointed at the guy behind me. I was like, me and this other guy didn't get it tagged. And he goes, well, there was a family above in the back. She's like, well, they got it tagged. But I was like, well, they got lucky. I was like, can't you just tag it? Does it take a few minutes? We start arguing. And she was just like, please. And then the guy with the father of that family was like, hey, we used that kiosk. It worked. You could just use that and try it.
What race was the father?
White.
Of course. I don't know why I felt this white man just buttoning everybody's business. He was back the fuck up.
No. He was nice guy. You could tell he was just he knows why I'm angry.
Yeah.
And he was just
he was a father. How many family
He
members?
had 3 little boys.
There were 3? Oh yeah, he understands. He's already angry. He's already been angry twice that morning.
Yeah.
So at the airport, everyone's quiet.
He was just
fine.
like, hey man, this one worked, like, because that one didn't work, blah blah blah.
Okay,
Like,
I take back everything I said.
And then I was like, all right, and he knew why I was frustrated. So me and then the guy behind me, black guy, if you want to know his race.
There we go. I always want to know race.
And then he and I were just like, and he was just like, man, this is BS. Like, he was like, I had to miss this other flight, and I'm this, and like, he was going through it even worse. And then, so I got into it with that lady but that altercation was like a little bit longer, and I was like holding up the line, and it was in my head, like, after I was like at the Sky Lounge.
Hold on. No, whip your hair.
And get this part.
You should do one of these. Whip your hair a little bit.
The Sky Lounge.
That's such a weird level of where you're going. Man, I was in this, everyone, like these families and kiosks, and then I'm at the Sky Lounge, and then
you don't understand, like,
my apples.
I love it. It just makes me happy because airport food is so expensive, so you just go to the lounge.
The food in the lounge is free.
It's free. It's good food. Open bar if you drink. Like, I mean, I don't drink, but still, like, yeah,
that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't fly Delta. I usually fly Southwest.
No.
Yeah.
Fly Delta.
Okay.
Delta is way better.
No, I know Delta's better. Delta's never gone to any places that I've been going.
Just pay for the extra money.
Exactly. See that? See this? This is where we differ. I will go to the ends of the earth to be cheap. You don't know how petty I am. I will go to the ends of the earth to be as cheap as I possibly can. No, I will not be paid. No, I like how you didn't even want to finish your sentence.
Yeah.
Because you know me well enough to like, why don't you just pay for?
No, I know you. You're the type of guy that will like fit like a suitcase worth of clothes in a carry-on bag.
Yeah, I packed for 2 weeks in a carry-on before.
Yeah, I packed for a whole month in a carry-on.
Exactly.
I don't want to check in a suitcase.
Yeah.
During my Europe trip, so everything is in my backpack in a carry-on.
For your Europe trip, checking it. Oh wait, are you gonna do laundry?
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah.
Well, no. There's laundromats everywhere in Europe.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I'll figure it out. Like, I'm sure.
Yeah. Okay. Then yeah. Then you should be fine.
I'll be okay. I'll be all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's begin. We're about 18 minutes in. Usually or probably less, but it doesn't matter. Kazeem, what's a good piece of advice you were given? Who told it to you? And where were you in your life when you were given that piece of advice?
You know the sad part? I read the pre-production email and I still don't have an answer. Okay. I will say this. I don't remember where okay. This was, I want to say, I had just moved into my new place, right? And not the roommate situation, the one across the hall.
Okay.
I just moved in there. No furniture, no nothing.
This was by yourself.
This was by myself.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And I remember my mom visited, and if you know anything about immigrant mothers, they disrespect you without a care in the world.
I hate to be that guy. You've used this advice.
I've used this already
on this podcast.
Damn it!
So basically, the advice is his mom was making him buy all this furniture, and he didn't want to, and then you were frustrated with your dad. This is a great piece of advice.
Yeah, it's perfect.
You're like,
perfect advice.
Your dad is like, what's wrong? He's like, man, mama's just making me like buy this couch and and he goes, then don't buy the couch.
Yeah, then just don't do it. What's the problem? But the way he said it, I'll tell you another piece of advice, but it's just like, that just is stuck in my brain because the way he said it was like, why are you being dumb right now? Like, why can't you just, if you don't want to do it, then just don't do it.
He reminded you that you're a grown-ass man.
You ever have someone remind you that you have free will? It's a whole, it'll mess you up.
I would do that to myself sometimes. Like, wait a minute. Like, I don't have to deal with this. Like,
advice. I don't consider this advice. Was it advice? It was a reminder. Mm-hmm. You told me this. We were driving to Costco. This was back in the day. When Ahmed first got here, he didn't have a Costco card. I had one. We lived 2 minutes away from each other. We'd make Costco runs. See, that was when my fridge was immaculate.
Yeah,
It
you
was
had the
just
best
drinks and Costco food, and then that was it.
Now you're married.
Now
with
it's
with
now
a
it's
kid,
just-
and you got baby
now
formula.
it's just my fridge is a mess.
Yeah, no,
It's organized, but it's an organized chaos. It's getting better now.
yeah. When you were living by yourself, the single man's apartment, it was perfect. You had a case of Red Bull, a case of green tea, a case of water bottles.
Yeah,
that's it.
It was perfect. It was perfect.
Oh, and a case of protein shakes.
Yeah, and protein shakes. Did I keep
That's
them in
it.
the fridge? I don't think because I don't like a cold protein shake.
No,
That
it was in
sounds
the fridge.
It was? Oh, okay.
Well, wait. I don't think it was. Maybe it
Yeah.
was for me then. Probably. Maybe
Yeah,
like in my
probably.
fridge, I had protein shakes.
You said this to me. We were on our way to Costco, and we were just talking about life in general,
Mhm.
right? Neither of us were married at the time. And we're both like children of immigrants. So every 5 minutes is like, hey, when are you going to get married? And I'm like, I just moved here. Like, what are
Right.
you talking about? Right? We're still doing comedy. And that was when open mics were literally every single night from 5 p.m. to 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And then we're just seeing, respectfully, we're seeing mediocre people get so much stuff. respectfully, I respect everybody. Where's my cat? I respect everybody.
Yeah.
Let me not say mediocre. People getting stuff fast.
Right.
Let me not say they're mediocre, because some of them they're not mediocre. They just have a really good work ethic, right? And then you said, you know what? You're not late. You're not early. You're just right where you need to be.
Wow.
And I was like, oh yeah.
I still use that advice a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that advice? I don't know.
No,
Or is
it's a
that
great
just like,
piece of
yeah,
advice.
it's a great piece of advice from your boy. Ahmed loves bread.
Wow.
That was when it was Ahmed from Dallas. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I've known you too long.
No, you've known me. I was when I met you, I wasn't even Ahmed from Dallas yet. Before that, it was Ahmed Al-kadri, Alkadrii.
Oh.
But then, like, it was so hard for people to follow me.
Yeah. And then Ahmed from Dallas is good. And then you were like, yeah, but
People thought I was
want to
in
branch out.
Dallas.
Yeah, exactly. People thought you were always in Dallas.
Yeah.
Right. And then you were like, my name is Ahmed. I love bread. That's my name.
And it worked out.
It worked out. And you do like bread.
I do like bread.
So that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect advice.
It's
It's a perfect advice because it just reminds, it's such a good reminder of, like, there's so many layers to that advice that you probably don't even know I needed at that time, where it's like, yo, slow down, right? It's not, first of all, it's not that deep.
It really isn't.
It really isn't.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I promise you, sometimes I want to tell other comedians, like, listen, I know you think this spot is important. It's not. It really isn't.
Yeah, one time I was explaining, wow, why am I blanking out on his name? He opens every set with sup, neighbors, N-word.
Rob Smallwood.
Rob Smallwood. Wow,
Yeah,
why am
yeah.
I blanking out? And we used to always roast him. Well, roast each other. But anyways, one time Rob was like, I just need, once I get don't tell, don't tell. Like a show at don't tell. And then I was telling him, I was like, dude, and I was explaining to him, I was like, no, I did a show and don't tell. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was explaining to him, I was like, shows or whatever.
It's another spot.
It's just another spot.
It's just another spot.
Yeah.
As soon as you realize that it's really just another spot, right? And that's you're right where you need to be, where it's like there is no silver bullet in entertainment, whether you realize it or not.
We just see, sometimes we see a silver like we see it as a silver bullet, but it's clearly not. Like, everyone thought, like, Matt Rife's one viral video was to skyrocket to fame, and then all of his other videos blow up. It's like, no, dude, he's been doing it for 11 years prior, and then he was
not only has been doing stand up for 11 years prior. It's not like he had one viral video. He kept getting viral videos because he's still talented.
Yeah, he still did his thing. And also, like, him and Paul Elias show, like, a lot of people don't, it's like, why he's good at crowd work. It's like he's naturally talented, but also it's like that low-key outside show, remember? Or low-key upset. It's like they've been doing crowd work for a long time. So by the time like when crowd work became the important thing, it was his bread and butter. It's like he's got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Wow. Whoever told you that piece of advice, great. And I'll tell you this, since then, I got a Costco card.
Really?
Well, it's you that texted me. We're just sharing each other's piece of advice. I was going to ask, like, I was like, hey, man, like, when are you free or whatever? And you go, Ahmed, just get a Costco card.
Yeah. I thought,
You're like, just get a membership.
That sounds like me. That sounds like...
You're like, you live in Sherman Oaks. I'm in Burbank. Like,
that sounds like me giving very blunt, like
just
stop
get a Costco card. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like,
it's $60 for the whole year.
Yeah. And you said I'm there all the time.
It pays for itself.
Yeah.
I think, well, are you there all the time? Like, do you exclusively shop there? Not exclusively, but like you like shop.
Costco's my first choice, and then if there's certain things that I need less, I'll go to the pavilions across the street.
Okay, get the executive member card, because then you'll get money back at the end of the year.
How much is that per year?
I want to say it's $120, but essentially it's a free card. Because the money you get back pays for the card. Yeah. Because I got like 126
I just travel a lot. That's the only
problem. You don't have to get it. But if ever you find yourself where you're just like, you've noticed, if ever you notice that you're always going to Costco, like you're always spending a lot of money at Costco,
No, it's not like that. I'm just there a lot. Sometimes I'll go to Costco just to buy the hot dogs and I'll eat it in my car.
There we go. Hot dog and the free drink.
Yeah, it's a hot dog for drink for $1.50.
They might raise that price.
No,
they might.
Why?
They're thinking about it.
They won't.
They won't. They haven't. They should have. Business wise, they should have.
Yeah, but
the founder threatened. He's not like the CEO anymore, but he did walk into the lore is that he walked into a meeting with them and he said, if you raise that price, I will kill you.
I will kill you.
Yeah, he said that because the hot dog's just iconic. It's $150. You get a hot dog and you get a drink. I think you need to bring back those onions, but that's just my own personal preference.
Dude, I want to meet that man and shake his hand.
Yeah. Costco's good things. What were you talking about? I'm sorry, I interrupted you like 3 times.
No, dude, you're good. This is the point of the podcast. We got into travel. Like usually I bring up the advice thing like right up top. Yeah. But we just got so sidetracked with travel and I really needed to get my gripe.
No, it's understandable.
Well, also, I actually have a question because there's so many times when we were younger and we were like, I remember I look back to like thoughts that I had when I was a younger comedian, or like negative thoughts, like being jealous of a certain person, or hating a certain bigger comic, And then like when I started getting further in my career and getting my own success, I was like, why was I thinking that? Yeah. And then I was like legit mad at my past self for that. But then I just again give yourself some grace because I was like, oh well. It's because you had nothing and you were very insecure about your career. And then you were just so like, this guy, what about her? What about him? Like, it was just so like, that's why when I see open mic comedy and I see the drama, I'm like, oh, I remember when I was there. Yeah, exactly. I remember when I was a child.
Oh, he stole your joke? Yeah. That joke's going to change, sweetheart.
Well, also it's like.
No, it's interesting.
The joke, well, I don't want to say names because people will know. But I remember there was a big drama, like it was very local comedy scene, but it was they were like, oh, this person stole my joke, and then they did a video and tried to like make all this drama, and then when you go to the crux of it and when you ask like what was the actual joke, it's not the most like anyone could have thought about this joke.
Anyone could have thought about that joke. And also, a lot of the times, weirdly, if you just break it down, a lot of times they're not the same joke. A lot of times, maybe it's the same premise.
Or different perspective.
Or a different perspective, same premise, different punchline, not the same joke, unfortunately.
Yeah, you see that a lot with Okay, I hope this doesn't come off as racist. But anyways, you see this a lot with in the black comedy circuit.
You don't, but go ahead. I'm
no,
ready.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hold on.
Okay.
Here we go.
I'm gonna look in the camera.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I remember like.
Make sure you zoom in on my face.
Okay. I remember
talking.
a lot of black comics were accusing other black comics of stealing their jokes, but like here's the thing: a lot of black comics have the same premises. They just deliver it differently or have a different perspective, and that's what makes their jokes theirs. The premise hasn't always been because every black comic has a black people, white people different.
I don't.
Every black comic. I'm not saying you.
Okay.
Every black comic is am I gay or like am I gay joke because of this.
I think you need to expand the black comics you hang out with. I get what you're saying.
And then
I get what you're saying.
And
right, because
and
that
women ain't shit.
Yeah. That I swear to God, no.
You know I'm right.
First of all,
I'm right.
First of all, don't point at me like that.
Okay, sir. Just say it.
No.
Oh,
No.
You know I'm right.
Here's where you are right, and here's where you are wrong.
Okay, every male comic has a women ain't shit bit. How about
most
that?
male comics don't have a joke like that.
Okay,
fair. Now, when you talk about black comedy, you have to understand also that there are so many different layers and different genres of black comedy, right? Because Red Fox, Bill Cosby, Bernie Mac, neither of them are the same person.
Right.
They don't have the same jokes. They don't talk about the same things.
Right.
So if you put all black comedy and be like, well, black comics have a white people versus black people.
Yeah.
That
was generalizing for sure.
Not generalizing as in it's your fault that you were generalizing, but it was the fact that on TV, those were the only jokes that were shown. Now, if those are the only jokes that were shown, then you don't get to see all the other types of black comedy. So it's not your fault that you think that.
And I was basing it on like going to J Spot all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
And seeing the same
right, and you see the same things, right? But it's like if you go to New York, it's all different because they're all in different. Every black comic in every different borough talks differently. Right. So and then the comics in Atlanta talk way different than the comics in Houston, and the comics in Dallas are trash. So who cares? And then, right? So it's like there's so many different types of comedy. I will never not trash the city of Dallas. That will never not happen.
Well, it's because it's way better than Houston. That's why.
No, I'm good.
Dude. Houston is ass. You want to know what's the best thing to do when you're in Houston? Drive to Dallas. That's it. It's the only thing to do.
Okay, that caught me off guard.
That's it.
Know why. I don't know why.
You guys are known for a baseball team that cheats.
Okay. When
it rains, it's still hot.
Yes. I'm sorry.
It's the most.
Oh, hold on.
It's so moist.
Why is that a problem?
Your face is exfoliating outside.
You're welcome. Every now and again, you need a little face peel.
Houston has. No, Dallas has better food. Okay, fine. Houston has better food. I'll take that back. Houston does have better food.
I almost left this. I almost left this podcast.
Houston has better food. I'll admit. Houston has better food.
You can say what you want about Houston. What you're not gonna say is that our food is trash. That is not gonna happen. That will never happen. All right. I think we can all agree Los Angeles food is the worst.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
LA food is great.
LA food is good.
786 degree pizza.
Yes.
What was I gonna say? But like House of Pie, Republic of Pie, dessert, Salt and Straw. Like there's so many great spots that you could.
That's ice cream.
Okay. Food, still food, isn't it? No, dessert. I'm talking about dessert.
I get what you're saying. I think the food in LA, you have to like go find it. But the food in Houston, you can just go anywhere.
No.
I think so.
No.
I think so.
Well, okay, to be fair, and just America in general, I think in every city you go to, you have to find the food. Because hear me out. Because America, we're such a capitalistic country. Mm-hmm. We love franchising. So everywhere you go, it's always, but there's always, like, everywhere you go, you're always going to see McDonald's, Taco Bell, fast food, Whataburger, whatever. Yeah. Even our Whataburger is like certain Oh, sorry, not Whataburger. Even fast food, there's certain like, there's levels to fast food. You have the Subways, McDonald's, Wendy's, Taco Bell, but then you have the second tier, which is like only in this region. Whataburger will be in the South. In-N-Out will be in the West Coast. No. Well, Shake Shack and In-N-Out would be second tier, but and Chipotle. But I'm saying
I'll say like, Shake Shack is on the coast. You won't really see.
You don't see that.
Yeah.
No, there's a Shake Shack in Dallas now.
There is? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because
we actually have the money to afford it, unlike Houston.
Houston doesn't want a Shake Shack. We have Whataburger. We don't need.
We have Whataburger in Dallas as well.
Yeah, but you don't appreciate it enough.
We appreciate the hell out of it. Okay.
Right,
hold on. What did you order last time you were at Whataburger?
I don't know. I've had everything. Whataburger's one of those places.
Have you had? Hold on. The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich, but instead of barbecue sauce, ask them to put the honey butter sauce. So the honey butter chicken biscuit that you could get for breakfast, you could use that sauce and ask them to put it on the
instead of barbecue sauce.
Instead of barbecue sauce, ask them to put it on the chicken strip
with the
sandwich.
Cheese.
Yes.
Huh.
It's good.
Okay.
It's a game changer. Yeah.
I'll try it.
Yeah. Honestly, now I'm thinking about it, I got to do another tour in Dallas or in Texas just so I can get some Whataburger.
There are two places. There are only two fast food places that I just unequivocally love. Taco Bell and Whataburger.
Dude.
Those two places, I've genuinely had everything that I'm allowed to eat. I don't eat pork. But, Taco Bell's not real meat anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Taco Bell, sponsor this podcast. Monday Fun Day.
Yeah. Dude, what was I going to say? I hit a new, or I learned a new thing about myself. I swear to God, right when I turned 30, I now have to schedule when I could eat Taco Bell. Yes. Like if I eat Taco Bell, I have to be home after.
Yeah.
Cause
no, that's never happened. That's only happened to me one time. And that's honestly, it's because I went to a different Taco Bell than what I usually go to.
I don't know. Now it's like, maybe it's a certain
but also
Taco
I don't eat it. I don't eat it as much anymore. I try to eat my own food.
For me, Taco Bell is it's a depression meal for me. And Whataburger. You want to hear something? I think I told you in May I was doing my Texas tour.
Okay.
And Austin, I lost money. Houston, alhamdulillah, I made some money.
There we go.
Houston and Dallas, I made money, but I didn't make a lot of.
Which city did you make more money in?
Dallas, but I just had a better deal.
Okay.
But I sold. Also with Houston, we had like 90 people show up, like a little over, but the tickets were just lower. They're like $15 here. Okay. But in Dallas, it was like $25 flat. Right.
Okay.
But Austin and San Antonio, I lost money. And you're going to laugh. There was a moment. This was also during the Netflix is a Joke Festival.
Yeah.
So after
Shout out to everyone that was on the Netflix The Joke Festival.
Yes.
Everyone but us.
But me.
Bro, maybe.
Remember what we just said earlier.
No, we're happy for them. It's not that
deep, though.
It's not that deep, but it is kind of funny that I swear to you, it was like, maybe you feel the same way. It was like a string of like 3 weeks where everyone's getting a showcase.
Yeah, I posted that.
Everyone's getting a showcase. I'm like, where are these showcases
I posted a
from?
screen recording of my feed. I'm like, my feed right now. And it was just all these like Netflix is a Joke Festival flyers.
It was so great.
And I posted on my story and I got one response was, it's okay, man. One day you'll get. And I was like, no, I thought it was funny. So I just deleted it immediately because I didn't want people to think I was jealous.
You don't want people, because it's fun to be happy for your friends.
Right.
A lot of our friends got on that festival and I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
Right. Of course you want to be on it. Like if they would have called me, I would have been like, yeah, of course I'm coming.
Yeah.
But
also it's like, again, not that deep, but what made me like, it was a good, Whataburger is a great depression meal because Austin, it was Mother's Day, Memorial Day weekend, didn't make a lot, I lost money and I'm in my hotel, but before I got to the hotel, I got two, not one Kazeem, 2 honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich meals. So I got 2 sandwiches, 2 large fries. Yeah. And I just was scarfing.
No. What size? Because a lot of people don't understand. When Whataburger says medium,
It was medium. It's large. It's fucking large.
Even the
It's
medium,
Texas.
even the medium at Whataburger looks like an extra
you
large.
tend to
meal.
forget, like when you leave Texas and then you go back to Texas, you're like, oh wait, everything is bigger in
it's
Texas.
huge.
You're like, oh yeah,
It's
I forgot
huge.
like this the quantity size. But yeah, at 2, so I was just scarfing down the food, and plus my ex was in that city, so she was on my mind too, and I'm scarfing the city. Hotel room is pitch black. The only light was coming from my laptop, and I needed to check. I try not to go on Instagram, but I checked Instagram through my laptop to respond to a DM for a show thing, and then all of a sudden I start doom scrolling, and I'm looking at all these Netflix is a Joke festivals, and it's like some of our friends who we are proud of, but it's like, thank you Netflix is a Joke festival. We sold out a room, this many seats. Next post, thank you Netflix is a Joke festival. We sold a room. And then in this pitch black hotel room with the light coming, I just at midnight I just go. It was one of the most depressing moments I've ever had.
That was so sad. I promise you, I thought this was gonna get inspirational.
No, it was just
it was just sad.
Tell you a sad
It was
story.
just you just wanted to break my heart just now. That's basically what just happened.
and I was like, and then I go, character development. Character development.
Yeah, no, but that's fine.
But it's moments like that where when I, inshallah, ya Rab, Kazeem, when you and I make it and I fucking hit that level,
we're gonna remember these moments.
Yeah, I am like, you don't understand how this journey is like. People, and then this is what pissed me off the most though.
Yeah,
I didn't say anything, but I got back to LA. People go, Ahmed, yo, what's up? Bro, you're killing it.
You don't even know. That was that.
I was like, oh my
I'm
god,
not gonna lie.
so mad.
Honestly, that pisses me off more than the not getting the stuff that I want. It's when people come up to me and be like, man, Kazeem, you're really you're killing the game. And I'm like, I just got denied 17 times from 17 different bookers. There are bookers in LA just don't respond.
Don't even know who you are.
Yeah, exactly. Not only do they not know who I am, they refuse to even want to know who I am.
Kazeem, it's because you and I got that immigrant mentality.
Yeah, of course.
Because we have Nigerians, Yemen, we work hard. You keep going. But because of that mentality, you're never doing enough. No. So when people look at me, they go, bro, you're killing it. I'm like, bro, if you just if I just put my phone down for 2 hours, bro, I'm lazy.
I would be murdering the game. I would be murdering. Let me have 3 hours where I'm just productive, purely productive. No one speaks to me. I don't have to do anything. I can just be productive and I don't get distracted. I wouldn't be doing this podcast. I wouldn't have time. Why would I be here? Why? I'd be like, yo, Ahmed, I'll come do your podcast. It's gonna be $1,000 for my time. I'm gonna start charging people. No, I'm lying. I would never do that.
Yeah, no.
But that's just the mentality. And a lot of times, I try to remember, always keep saying to myself, we've said it a couple times on this podcast already. We really just have to give ourselves grace, right?
Be kind to
yes,
yourself.
I definitely want to do more festivals. I definitely want to be at the major clubs, but also I'm grateful that I can get called if someone drops, right? That's where I am right now in my place in the LA scene, where someone drops, they know Kazeem is reliable, has a car, and will be there. And that's where I am.
And that's good.
Right? When a while before the pandemic, if you ever saw me guest host an open mic, it's because they knew I would show up and I'm reliable and I wouldn't burn the coffee shop down.
Right.
Right? So
I miss coffee shop open mics and
I do miss those.
I do miss
those.
the grind for hitting 3-4 open mics a day.
Yeah.
Just trying to your best hit off.
And because it was also fun. And it was also
what was cool is like you get to see all your friends every day.
all the time.
I used to see you almost every day of the week. Now it's like, you know,
we have to schedule these.
well, it's like, hang on, I gotta check on the baby. Let me see the wife.
Yeah.
And for me, it's hang on, I might be flying out here.
Yeah,
I
might be in Australia next week.
I just landed from Detroit last Monday. I'm flying to Europe for a month.
There we go.
2 days from now.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's fun. These are the fun. And that's the thing. You have to always, and this is another reminder. I don't even know if these are like advice. It was Fizza Dasani. We were doing, I want to say it was a crispy show. Like at Universal Bar and Grill. Like, you ever done one of those?
Oh, yeah.
He still does those shows. Don't worry about it. That's neither here nor there.
I thought it was an open mic.
No. Oh,
But it has open mic energy.
Ahmed, it's a show. it's a show.
Yeah.
It's a show with really high open mic energy, but there's low stakes. So
let's give the listeners like an image of what you're looking at. It's a dingy bar.
You walk in.
It has a great name, so you think it's gonna be a
Universal Bar and Grill.
Yeah, because it's next to Universal Studios. So
right across the street.
Yeah,
Universal Studios. It's right there. You walk in. It's like 4 people in there, right? Yeah. But those 4 people are so engaged in what's on the TV that they're not listening to a word you have to say. They do not care.
I've seen a girl have a mental breakdown on stage and start crying while she was on stage.
That'll happen. Universal Bar and Grill will do that to you.
One time, like she was just like doing jokes. She was bombing because no one was listening, and she was like, "Yeah, and I don't even know what I'm doing with my life." And she just started crying.
Dude,
and that
was for real crying.
Yeah, like for real crying.
Oh, wow.
And that was the first time ever in that bar where everyone in the room was paying attention to who was on stage and go, "Aw."
Yeah.
And one guy did this. One guy goes, he didn't say anything. He had a beer. He did this.
Shout out to the homie right quick.
Just drink. It was so sad.
This is the most depressing podcast I've ever done in my life. We're just here talking about how depressing this is.
Listen, Kazeem, inshallah, next time when you get back, it's gonna be we're gonna be like those Powerball comedians who are making too much money.
Man, how much time do we have?
We out of touch. It's 48 minutes.
Okay, cool.
We'll do our segment later.
Yes. I have so many other things I want to talk about. Right. I need to ask you for some advice also.
Okay.
So what were we gonna? Okay, Fizza Dasani, what'd she say?
Oh yeah.
We were there, Universal Bar and Grill. We're just out, right? And then it was like we were just there. We were talking, and then I just noticed Fizza's car was like nice, and I was like, man, when I make it, I'm gonna get a car like you, right? And then it was like a Toyota Camry, but it was like something. It was like a good Toyota Camry.
That's the Nigerian in you. It's like, look at that.
Exactly. That's a nice Toyota Camry. That's a brand new Toyota Camry hybrid. And then I was like, yo, when I make it, I'm going to get a car like you. I was saying in like a playful way. And she was like, this is making it, right? We're living our dreams. Not a lot of people get to do that. Yeah. We're making it right now.
Right.
And I was like, oh. Yeah, you didn't get the joke, but yes, that's great. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. No, that was perfect. Where it's like so many little things have happened through my LA journey where I'm like, I needed that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Where it's like, oh yeah, it makes sense. Right? People always ask why I'm so like, I pride myself in being very helpful.
Yeah.
Right. If you ask me a question, if you see a show I'm on, you ask me how I got that show, I will tell you exactly what I did.
Same, yeah.
Right. And that's because I was in El Paso. I was featuring for my friend Siddiqui Fuller. He passed away. RIP. And then I just went up to him. I was like, hey man, thanks for like, having me here. Like you didn't have to let me come. No, I wasn't even featuring. I was doing guest spots all weekend because he said, just come do guest spots all weekend. I was still working from home at the time, so I could just drive to El Paso. And he was like, just come do all weekend and make sure that do a different 5 minutes and then the club owner will, like you. And I just went up to him and was like, hey man, thanks for like vouching for me, because that's not, normal, right? For like, some guy being like, hey, I have a guest spot all weekend, right? And he was like, Kazeem, you don't like, I want you to win, so why wouldn't I help you? Right? I want everybody to win, right? And if you work, then of course I'm gonna help you. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I can help people. And it doesn't hurt me one bit. Right? And that's just little things like that just throughout my whole comedy career. It's like, okay, I needed that. That kept me going for like another 2 years.
That's
that
nice.
one little nugget of like kindness, one little nugget of wisdom, right, kept me going for like
no, that's good.
2 years. Like I needed that conversation in your Prius.
Yeah,
I needed that.
I still drive that Prius.
And like, shout out to the Prius,
I am
baby.
riding that till it dies. I love her.
How many?
much.
How many miles?
It just hit 100.
Just hit 100?
Yeah, 100 at
You're
3
almost there. I'm at 192 for my Honda Accord.
With your Honda Accord?
Yes.
I think my Prius can go up to 300.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah.
Like the old school Priuses, especially.
The 2015.
Yeah,
it's
2015. Yeah. Because those mechanics can still fix. These new Priuses, weirdly enough, a lot of times what's happening, and this is the best of my knowledge, some of these mechanics are getting locked out. Like a regular mechanic can't put their computer
it's only
thing.
through the dealership.
Yeah. It sucks.
It's kind of like iPhones now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What it is.
Okay, so this is the Let's Get Deep portion. Let's get deep. It's basically I asked our guests a Let's Get Deep question. This is a Patreon only, so if you want to listen to it, to this part of the episode, go to my Patreon, subscribe. It's only like the $3 tier, only
so
$5.
what happens? What happens then? Do we just cut right here?
Yeah.
Someone just
and my
fade?
editor, she like cuts this part, and then it just like starting now, and then like
oh, that's dope.
And then like it goes and then she like puts the outro, and that's it. It's
okay, cool.
great. Anyways, we got to get going. It is moist, it's hot in here.
I'm fine, but also I'm from Houston, so I can
also
I can handle heat.
The AC hits you, and that table blocks the AC.
Poor little boy from Dallas.
Right. Well, this was a great episode, guys. I'll be in Europe by then, but if you're not on a Patreon, subscribe to the Patreon. I'm posting more stuff on there, but dude, this was awesome. I freaking love you. I love having you on this podcast, and I can't wait to see you when I get back from Europe.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Oh, follow me. Kazeem Comedy.
Kazeem Comedy.
My podcast, Tough Choice with Kazeem Rahman, on all platforms. Yeah, it's a good time. Ahmed is when is this coming out? Next week?
No. I have some banked out.
Okay, then yeah. By the time you're listening to this, Ahmed's episode should probably already come out, because Ahmed is next week.
I'm the reigning champ.
Yeah, you are the reigning Tough Choice champion.
Well, anyways,
fist bump me.
Oh yeah,
boom.
Thank you so much. Well, anyways, this has been your episode. Thank you guys so much, and have a happy Monday.